Alright, so this is a pepper review for the Piaozinho pepper, and I will put all the correct information in the title and description so you can read it from there. And basically what it looks like is this. Now I gotta try to get you a good footage back here. So that's what it looks like on the plant, and it's doing pretty good. This plant is a 2-year-old plant, and it's not getting a lot of sunlight because on the other side of that wall I got this giant elderberry bush there that I gotta cut down, I guess, because it's really blocking a lot of the afternoon sunlight, and I didn't think it would get this big. So, but anyway, let's take a look at the plant. And it's really hard to get in here right now because there's so many. And so you can see that it's a regular leaf plant. Regular leaf. The stems are waxy smooth, I believe. Yeah, they're waxy smooth. And what else about this plant? There's no purpling in it at all. Maybe if you put it in direct sunlight, you might see some purpling at the nodes, but it's generally a green, waxy smooth stem. And again, that's the leaf. Alright, and that's really it. I'm trying to look for some flowers so I could show you the flower. It's just a standard white flower. There's nothing too special about it. No flowers. Okay. Alright, so there's no flowers on it, but I'm going to pick one of these right now. I can't get any footage here because of the plants in front of it. Let's see, which one can we pick? How about that one? We'll yank that one off. I got to pick them all off because I got to start processing the seeds. Once they get ready, I want to get the peppers off the plant. So that's what it looks like. Kind of looks like it's almost in the Roxy family of peppers. Roxa, I think it's actually called. Roxa. And they're kind of a particular pepper in their own right. And this kind of falls into that kind of shape. It almost looks like a Bikino pepper a little bit, but it's not. This is specifically, this particular type of shape is very unique to this pepper. And you can see the cap on it up here. It's just a short cap. It doesn't have a long cap on it, so make note of that. And I don't know if it's hot or sweet. It's probably going to be hot because like 90% of the peppers out there are generally hot peppers, so this is more likely to be hot. How hot? I have no idea. Hope it's not a gut cramper, but it's actually quite a gorgeous pepper. So alright, so here we are doing another pepper review on the Piaozinho pepper. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce that. I can run it through translator. Maybe it'll give me the correct pronunciation for that, but I'm really not sure how you pronounce it. I'm assuming that's the way you pronounce it, but this is it. This is what it looks like. And it's quite a beautiful pepper. It's not very big. You can see it in my hand, you know, roughly how big it is to my hand. And they're all about the same size. And like I mentioned earlier, you can see the cap is very unique to this. Not sure how to get this like that. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm having a hard time seeing what's in there. But alright, so let's give it a bite and see what it tastes like. It's hot right away. It's a hot one. I don't think it's super hot though. Okay, so it's a hot pepper, but it's not that hot at all. It's actually very mild. I would say maybe the heat of a jalapeno somewhere in that range, probably 5,000 to 10,000. Not really that hot. It is pretty hot. My eyes do want to get to water. I'm not sure if every pepper is going to be the same heat. Some of them might be a little hotter, but the burn, it's generally all on the top of my tongue, a little bit around the edge of the tongue, and going towards the tonsil area. It did get to the back of the throat a little bit. It did hit that, so very slightly, but it's a nice little burn. I thought I was going to start heat cupping right away, but I didn't. So that's a good sign. That means it's not that hot. This is in other words, this is the kind of pepper you can cook with, or even pickle and eat raw. It's not going to kill you. Once you process these peppers, pickling or cooking with them, the heat disappears basically. You get a little heat out of it, but it's nothing like eating them raw. Totally not the same thing. Now, as far as taste goes, I'm going to say the taste was very tangy in flavor. Skins were a little bit tough on it, and it wasn't bad tasting. It had a nice peppery flavor, but there was no sweetness on it at all. Now, that pepper's from a 2-year-old plant. That plant's already 2 years old, and I believe it's probably about 4.5 feet tall right now. So it's a pretty old plant and been around, so I don't think it has any issues with the soil. I think that's just the flavor of the pepper. And again, it had a nice taste to it, but there was no sweetness in it. And again, some peppers tend to be sweet when they ripen and some don't. This one doesn't sweeten. So you got to apply it to the right kind of dish or your type of cooking. So keep that in mind. Yes, you can pickle these, but for me, this is the kind of pepper that would go good with any kind of ground meat, which would really go good with a ground meat. Like if you make hamburgers, for example, you can grind these up and mix them into the hamburger meat, per se. I think that would go really well with it. Or even if you wanted to just, throw a bunch of whole ones, like you make a steak and you want to put like the side dressings around it, and you want to throw a bunch of these around it, you want to fry them and saute them, this would be pretty good for that. I think that'd be a nice little addition to your presentation. I think it'd really go good. But it did have a nice flavor to it. I really did like the flavor. Like I said, it was a little on the tangy side, but immediately I was able to taste that rich type of pepper flavor. What kind of pepper flavor was it like? It's hard to say. I would probably say possibly maybe something like, you're generally with peppers, you're either going to have like the habanero fruity flavor type peppers, and then you're going to have peppers that are going to not be fruity in flavor, and I refer to those like cayennes, though they don't necessarily taste like cayennes, but I refer to that because generally cayennes are not fruity in flavor. They can be sweet, but slightly sweet. They're generally not very sweet cayenne peppers. Some peppers are grown for cayennes to be sweet. This is kind of going on that direction of taste and profile. I really don't know any other way to put it. It's definitely not a habanero type of an effect. It's more of like just a rich, spicy type of pepper. It's got a real rich flavor to it. In my opinion, I think it would also go good in salsa, because I like salsas that don't have sweetness to it. I don't like sweetness, but I do like to add ripe peppers, and so cayennes usually work out for me to add them to salsas and things like that. This would probably be good for that as well. It'd probably also be good for pickling as well. I think they'd work really good with it. It does have a little bit of a punginess to it, though, as I'm letting it go through my sinuses. It's not a punginess, but there's like that soap flavor. I always talk about that soapy flavor. It's kind of got that, and it's sticking around for a while. It's not unpleasant, but it tastes like soap on my lips a little bit. It's just something you got to get used to. Again, it's not, the soap flavor is not unpleasant, but it's just something you got to get used to. For me, it doesn't bother me. And when you cook, just so you know, when you do cook with these peppers, that soapy flavor that I always talk about, that disappears. That's gone. That's only when you eat them fresh you get that rich, upfront flavor of capsaicin. I think that's what it is. So anyway, I don't know what else to say about it. It's probably my plant didn't produce that well. I mean, I got maybe, or I'll probably by the end of the year, I'll probably get maybe a dozen to 2 dozen peppers off it. But that's the kind of plant, if you grow it out in full sun by itself, you'll probably get several hundred peppers off that thing. So it's a good plant to grow. I definitely recommend it. I will offer seeds on my website, and you can pick them up there. And if I don't have them up there, you can pick them up somewhere else. But yeah, give it a go. I think you'll like this pepper. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.